And so, yeah, this guy's name is Antonio Speaks. I thought we would take a look at this video called White Exhaustion because I guess he's fighting fire with fire thing.
Y'all hear that? I guess he's fighting fire with fire. They don't like when you fight back. They want you to sit back and take it and be the bigger man. No, I say this all the time, bro. I guess you could say I'm a petty person, bro. When somebody go low, I go to hell. It is, hey, that's a crazy.
Oh, fuck. This nigga said, when somebody go low, I go to hell. A racist exposed me. Video by Antonio Talks. So a few weeks ago, something like that, I made a video responding to this white conservative grifter incel type YouTuber who made a video essentially coming at Antonio. I made a video refuting everything that he said and put that nigga in the fucking ground. But it looks like Antonio's decided to circle the wagon, you know what I'm saying, and fucking make sure that bro is no longer kicking. So let's go ahead and dive into this video. A racist exposed me.
So when I first created my YouTube channels, I did not expect to be where I'm at right now. If you didn't know, I have two different channels. Antonio Speaks, which is my main channel. It has over 80,000 subscribers. And then Antonio Talks, the channel that you're watching right now. Antonio Speaks is more video essay based. It's really fast paced and to the point. And this channel is more reactionary based, less edited, more raw. I made the Antonio Speaks channel in July and I made this channel in August. Now let me tell y'all the reason I made these channels. Back around June, early June, late June, I started getting hit with a lot of political content on TikTok out of nowhere. First video I seen actually was Charlie Kirk. He was talking about 1350. Blacks make up 13% of the population, but 50% of the crime. The video had millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes. And when I went to the comment section, people were just talking about how bad black people are. I then went and did a Google search and debunked the theory in like 20 seconds. Like all you had to do was Google it. As the days and weeks went on, I started getting hit with black fatigue videos. And it was just like, man, it was just getting to a point. Like as a black
people who are constantly focused on other people talking about them in a negative way, it is because they have nothing within themselves that they feel proud about. It is because they have nothing in themselves. They have nothing going on in their lives, because when you got shit going on in your own life, you really don't got the time or energy to be fixated on other groups of people.
Person being online is really draining. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I would see people speak out about it, but it really wasn't getting any traction. And then the black people that were getting traction were talking about other black people. I soon found out that these were the raccoons, the black conservatives, and I was new to this whole thing. So I created my YouTube channel, and the strategy that I took was I'm gonna take those same tactics.
Man, God bless Antonio, man. I'm really happy this guy made this channel
that they use against us, against them. I guess you would say fighting fire with fire. I started making videos calling these people out, and boom, my channel was taking off. But anyway, fast forward to today, my channel's garner a lot of views, and this was my goal at the end of the day, bro. I wanted to get big enough to start to change the narrative, because I say this all the time, but once you control the media, you can.
And he's accomplishing it. He's actually pulling it off. I know I get lots of comments about how I've opened the eyes of a lot of black people to the reality of race relations in this country, to the history that we've inherited, which is the reason why the black community is where it is in the class hierarchy on average. Of course, we know we have black billionaires and millionaires, but as a whole, right, we know that we have the highest poverty rate. We have the lowest, college graduation rate, especially amongst our men. And so when you know that shit, it can be kind of depressing, and it can make you feel bad about being a part of the black community. It's like, damn, like why is it my people? Why are we like this? What's going on? Well, when you learn the history, it all makes perfect sense, and you go from possibly being insecure about your blackness or ashamed about blackness to actually being super proud, because when you realize what the fuck we've been through as a people, you realize there's ain't nobody else built like us, bro. Like, nobody else has had to overcome what we've had to overcome. The fact that we are where we are today is fucking just incredibly impressive.
Control the narrative. Now, as I stated, I've been garnering a lot of views. I've been getting bigger. A lot of people been dropping videos on me. My subscribers all the time, they'll send me links on Instagram. Oh, this person made a video about you. This person made a video about you. And I already had it in my mind, like, if I ever get big,
like, imagine watching a race and you see the guy who is in last place. You might think to yourself, oh, he the slowest. But then when you learn he had to start, his starting line was fucking 10 miles back, and now he's catching up to the pack. Now you're like, oh, this nigga actually he cold. He cold as fuck. The fact that he right here.
Going to be people that come after me. And listen, if everybody agrees with you, you gotta be fake. You feel what I'm saying? I know everybody, some of y'all watching my video right now, you don't agree with all of my takes, of course. We all not a monolith. We all have different opinions. So it's all about understanding the perspective, and I can do that. But like I said, if everybody agree with me, bro, I would just
not over here. I know you all agree with every single thing that I have ever said, right?
Fake person, so I'm cool on that. Now what we're gonna be talking about today is, I don't know if I want to consider him racist. We're gonna watch the video first to see if he racist, but a racist called me out. Well, not called me out, but he did a video on
yeah, no, he racist. He's a Nick Fuentes fan. He's a groiper.
All right, guys, so as you've probably heard, the phrase black fatigue has been used a lot recently, and that's in tandem with the word fatigue being used a lot to describe people's frustration with repeat patterns of behavior coming from certain groups that are being documented on social.
I don't know what he's talking about here either. And that's in tandem with the word fatigue being used a lot. Like, people have been using the term in general. No, the term black fatigue was invented by a black woman, and then it was stolen by white people and then used to try and say racist shit about black people. That's it.
Media. And so I think black fatigue being sort of the phrase that started this all has led to obviously a large conversation opening up about the current state of racial affairs and stuff like that. And a lot of people agree that black fatigue is real and there are reasons for it, but a lot of people disagree with black fatigue being real and the fact that people are even saying black fatigue.
Black fatigue isn't real. In fact, they gentrified the real meaning of black fatigue. Black fatigue to them is just finding these cherry pick situations of black people acting out or doing something bad. Like I stated, you could do this for any group. White fatigue, most definitely. Even going back, he talking about noticing patterns. I mean, everywhere white people have went historically, there has been, you know, mass killings, mass rapings, mass, come on, if you want to talk
show me a white civilization that ever attained a massive amount of wealth without slaughtering just a ridiculous amount of people, stealing land, raping women. Show me a white civilization where that was not the foundation of their empire. Yeah.
About noticing patterns, we can do that. Also, like I said, with the,
fatigue is a bigger problem than the so-called...
Everything black people have in the West, we earned it. Didn't steal it, didn't take it from nobody, didn't oppress anybody, nothing. Every achievement, every percentage of the wealth that we have, it was earned.
Issues with black people, so I don't know. But anyway, I saw this video called White Exhaustion, and in this video, one of my videos was featured, I guess, to bring up a point how black fatigue is being used a lot. And so, yeah, this guy's name is Antonio Speaks. I thought we would take a look at this video called White Exhaustion because I guess he's fighting fire with fire, saying...
Y'all hear that? I guess he's fighting fire with fire. They don't like when you fight back. They want you to sit back and take it and be the bigger man. No, I say this all the time, bro. I guess you could say I'm a petty person, bro. When somebody go low, I go to hell. It is, hey, that's a crazy.
Oh, fuck. This nigga said, when somebody go low, I go to hell.
Crazy statement, but as black people, we are always taught to, you know, forgive. Oh, get over slavery. Oh, just be the bigger person. It's always the reaction, but not the cause of the reaction. You get what I'm saying? It's nah, bro. None of that.
Me personally, I'm not a, you know, tit for tat kind of guy, but I do believe if you're gonna shoot to kill.
Man, nah.
Well, I have white fatigue. So anyway, let's take a look at this, and hopefully I will get to respond to some of his arguments. I did pre-watch this, and he does end up making some claims that I plan on debunking with facts and logic. Okay, bringing out the statistics here. So let's get into it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. We're gonna need it on a video like this. You know, I mean, this is gonna be a controversial one. We're going into battle right now. So
fucking pussy. Fucking pussy. Help me, guys. Help me. People are gonna be mad.
I need all the help.
We're not going into battle, bro. We just reacting to videos. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm the type of person, bro. I don't have no animosity towards anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be disrespecting me and my people, and we good. You know? You can keep making your videos. I keep making my videos. It ain't that deep. We ain't beefing, bro. No.
Show some love, and yeah, let's get into it.
These teens are charged with conspiracy to commit a mass Columbine-style school shooting.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead because the first section of this video is him cherry picking headlines in order to, you know, sort of say that white people are violent when unfortunately we have to look at not the raw numbers, but...
Dude, I'm just showing news headlines.
Right.
Is this not what black fatigue videos are?
Yeah,
cherry pick topics of black people acting out that stand for the entire group?
Right.
Is that not what all black fatigue videos are?
Yeah, for sure. It's exactly what it is.
The jokes write themselves. They don't like when you use the same tactics against them.
They're incredibly insecure. They're incredibly insecure. They know that the power they have was built on evil. That's just the reality of it. And so they're very insecure about that.
But unfortunately, that's what I'm gonna do. So if we want to be fair and you want to be nice, don't do black fatigue videos. You won't see no white fatigue videos. Because trust me, I could find some crazy topics of white people in an instant. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people love to say that I'm a grifter. If I really wanted to grift y'all, I could drop a white fatigue video every day, be getting hundreds of thousands of views, bro, but I don't really want to take that approach.
The per capita, the likelihood of a person from a certain race doing certain crimes. And if you look at the obviously very common...
Here's a definition of a grifter. This is what I think a grifter is. Either somebody who pushes something that they don't personally believe because they recognize that there is an audience, a large audience that they can appeal to and monetize. That's one way you can be a grifter. The second way in which you can be a grifter is if you are actively lying. Right? So maybe you do identify with the ideology, the overall ideology that you're preaching, but in order to try and make it seem more solid than it is, you lie. And that's what these people all do. I don't believe that he isn't a racist. I think he is a white supremacist racist. But what makes him a grifter is that in order to justify his white supremacist positions, he has to employ lies and he has to manipulate data. That's what makes you a grifter.
The likelihood of a person from a certain race doing certain crimes. And if you look at the obviously very commonly referenced 1350 statistic that says despite making up 13% of the population, black people are responsible for 50% of violent crime.
Just not true. Just not true.
The issue is that
so he's like a level 1 racist, y'all. He thinks 1350 is real.
Right.
Let's quickly debunk 1350. I do this in every video. Black Americans make up 13% of the U.S. population, account for 50% of the crime. What they are referring to is the 2019 FBI crime stats.
Right.
2019, by the way, old as hell. But with this data, this is only referring to arrests.
It's not that old. 6 years ago, but okay.
Y'all. So arrests, not convictions. They didn't go through trial, none of that. I want to ask you this question. Which group of people are policed the most? Better yet, which group of people make up for 53% of exonerations? Black people.
That there is a obvious...
And all an exoneration is just the government acknowledging that you were falsely arrested and imprisoned, right? They said you did this shit when you really didn't do this shit. That's what it means to be exonerated. You've been set free. And so that's why when they use crime data, it's not this arrest data. It doesn't actually reflect reality because black people are, and think about that. How is that possible that 50% of all exonerations are black people when we make up just about 13% of the population? Think about that. It tells you that black people are unfairly policed and treated in this country. It tells you without a shadow of a doubt that you are guilty until proven innocent when you are a black person in this country.
Discrepancy between the size of the group and the likelihood for them to commit violent crime, right? And so even if you say white people commit more crime than black people, it's like, well, yeah, because there's more white people in the US. The issue is the likelihood. You are more likely to be the victim of violent crime by a black person, right? And so I think when people talk about black fatigue, the reason they have an issue is that because they are a minority and they do a lot of this, it shows that there's a very clear imbalance and a pattern of behavior that is, you know, worth...
Okay, but let's humor this argument for a second, right? Now, we have already touched on why it's not a solid argument in the first place, because you're relying on arrest data, and we know that black people are over-policed in this country. So, of course, you don't have as many people observing white people to catch them when they're committing certain acts of crime. But let's give him that. Let's go to this like fantasy world that he lives in and say, okay, these numbers that he is quoting, they are true and they reflect reality. Even if per capita black people are more violent than white people, when you take a look at the arrest data, still, when you acknowledge what percent of the entire black population these criminals make up, you'll come to realize that it is a fraction. It's a super tiny percentage of the entire population, less than 1%. Less than 1%. At end of year 2022, about 32% of sentenced state and federal prisoners were black. So first and foremost, that completely debunks this 1350 bullshit that he's saying. It's 32%, which is very far away from 50%. It's almost half of what he said. So again, lying, aka grifter. Thus, grifter. You are now you have to wear the title of a grifter because you lie in order to push your ideologies. It also reveals how racist you are that you would be willing to say something so vile about a person or make such a negative accusation about a group of people and not even do the bare minimum and actually look that shit up. You just were willing to tell your entire fan base with over 500,000 subscribers this blatant bald-faced lie, which most of them are just going to eat it up because they're also racist too, which is why they watch you. But back to the point of what I'm trying to do here. So 465,200 black inmates in state or federal prison at the end of 2018. I'm sure that number is actually far lower now. Last time I checked, it was under 400,000. But then I asked, what percentage of black incarcerated people in America are incarcerated for violent crimes? There are a few different numbers here, but something interesting to note, estimates from 2017 show that among sentenced state prisoners, an estimated 61% of blacks and Hispanics and 48% of whites were incarcerated for a violent offense, which tells you what? Black people and Hispanics per capita, their criminals commit violent crimes at about exactly the same rate. Why do I not hear about Hispanic fatigue? Why am I not hearing about this? If blacks and Hispanics are incarcerated for violent crimes at the same rate, essentially, when you take those people as a percentage of the entire prison population, then they're the same. They're the same. Why? And so also, if you're a Hispanic talking about black fatigue, thinking about violence and how violent black people are, you're literally a raccoon, bro. I know you're technically not a raccoon because you're not black, but you the Hispanic version of a raccoon because your people are the same as us, bro. So about 60% of black inmates are in there for violent crimes. So what's 60% of 465,000? 0.6 times 465,200 is 279,120. So this would be the amount of black people who are in prison for violent crimes, right? If we're working with these numbers. The total US black population is about 48.3 million as of 2023, which is roughly 14.4% of the US population. So it's not 1350, it's actually 1432, but that doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely, right? It doesn't sound as bad when you put it like that. Here's the big thing. What is 279,120 as a percentage of 48.3 million? Are you ready? 0.578%. 0.578% of the entire black population is currently in prison for a violent crime. Even if this is a larger percentage than, let's say, the white population, right? They have a smaller amount of white people in prison for a violent crime when you take them as a percentage of the entire white population. Even if this number is bigger for black people, tell me why you think it is logical to be afraid of black people, categorize them as dangerous, be defensively racist, as this guy Achido and guys like Nick Fuentes like to say, if only 1 in 200 black people are in prison for violent crimes. The best evidence that you have to work with as a racist would be to acknowledge that only 1 in every 200 black people are violent. Now think about the amount of black people you as a white person interact with on a daily, monthly, even yearly basis. I'm sure it's far less than 100. That's why building this justification for this black fatigue bullshit, building it based on the idea that black people are just more violent per capita, still doesn't make sense because they still make up such a tiny fraction of the entire black population. It's no different than acknowledging the fact that the grand majority per capita of people who produce, consume, and distribute child pornography are white people. Over 70% of people who are convicted for engaging in that kind of shit are white men. Do you think, based on that then, it would be good for us collectively as a population to say, hey, never trust your child around a white man because they're probably going to abuse them. They're probably pedophiles. No, because even though white men are the fucking goats when it comes to that shit, apparently, they still make up a very, 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 very tiny percentage of the entire white population. The grand majority of white men do not fucking abuse children. That's exactly what you're doing as a white person when you use per capita to try and paint black people as dangerous and violent and should be avoided.
Because they are a minority and they do a lot of this, it shows that there's a very clear imbalance and a pattern of behavior that is, you know, worth criticizing, obviously.
Grade teacher got a tip.
But anyway, not to take away from this is terrible. I mean, these fucking idiots just said they were planning to shoot up their school. I mean, that's just disgusting and evil. Complete failure from the parents, the community, and from, obviously, the kids themselves. So, anyway.
Right.
The only way we're going to make America
let's just skip past it.
better country for all of us to live in is if we address the root causes of these problems. America doesn't have a race problem. It has a problem race.
So I skipped ahead there, but the only way we're going to make America better is if we get to the root cause of the problems. Well, what are the problems? I would say violence is a problem. I would say child abuse is a problem. Child exploitation is a problem. Now, the root cause of these problems would not be the
violence is not a problem in America. Let's just make that clear. Violence is a big problem in very tiny pockets of America. For the most part, if you live in the grand majority of American communities, neighborhoods, suburbs, you have a better chance of being hit by lightning than ever being murdered by anybody, much less a black man. Like, there are entire cities that have black people in them that experience no murders for an entire year, bro. An entire year will go by and there are some towns where not a single murder will happen all year. And white people live there, black people live there, Hispanic people live there. The reality is most of America is actually very safe. But what you want to do is take data that represents a very tiny portion of the population that live in a very tiny area of the country and then extrapolate that to all black people. And then even still, when you do it, we've already shown you that it still is bullshit to try and say, oh, yeah, 1 in 200 black people are violent, therefore be afraid of all black people.
Actual race, right? Because I don't think being born a certain race inherently makes you more likely to, be a child sex predator, right? I don't think that's how that works. If anything, the only thing that actually makes you more inherently likely to do that is becoming a Minecraft YouTuber. But getting into what he's actually saying here, if he's saying that it's an intrinsic thing and getting to the bottom of it means highlighting a certain race, then by his own logic, the problem would be literally black people.
That's not true.
That's crazy.
On September 10th. As we all know by now, Charlie Kirk got put on a t-shirt by Tyler Robinson.
Wait, hold on a second.
Start on just the past 3 weeks, we have had seven mass shootings. So September was crazy.
Okay, so he said we had 7 mass shootings.
So let's start on September 10th. As we all
And we're starting with a thing that isn't even a mass shooting. So we've had all these mass shootings recently. My favorite mass shooting was the Charlie Kirk one. This was not a mass shooting. It was an assassination. Like, one person got shot in the neck. That's not a mass shooting. This is not good. This is not a great start,
I wasn't referring to this as a mass shooting, but this was just the opener. Like, you feel me? It kicked off a lot of shit. It wasn't a mass shooting. I didn't even reference this as a mass shooting. That was my fault. Like I said, I gotta learn to word things better.
I think in order for it to be mass.
But anybody watching understands what Tony was really trying to say. He was saying we had 7 incidents where a crazy white guy took a gun and just started shooting at innocent people. Yeah, with the Charlie Kirk situation, he was the only one that got hit. But let's say somebody else also got hit. Let's say one of Charlie Kirk's kids was actually standing behind him, God forbid, when it happened, right? Or his wife, or just an employee. Then it would have been a mass shooting. But it doesn't take away from the point. The point is, what is wrong with white dudes taking guns and shooting innocent people that never did nothing to them? You feel me? Like, at least when we take a look at gang violence, the grand majority of those killings are retaliatory. It's people taking revenge. It's an endless cycle. You killed my dad, so I gotta kill you. I kill you, your brother kill me. That's how it's going. These white people are going to fucking elementary schools where kids are learning their fucking alphabet and killing them. What did they do? What did they do?
It has to be more than one.
Oh, no, More by than now, one. Charlie
Right.
Kirk got put on a
Right.
t-shirt by Tyler Robinson. That same day, 16-year-old Desmond
Okay.
Holly shot up a Colorado school, killing 2 people and injuring more. September 17th, Matthew Ruth, he killed 3 police officers
Right.
and injured 2 in Pennsylvania.
Is this even like, is this still considered?
Yeah, blue lives apparently don't matter as long as the guy who kills them are white, apparently.
a mass shooting though? Like, let's see this. Okay, inside.
Didn't this nigga just say a mass shooting is more than one?
I think in order for it to
Yeah.
be mass, it has to be more than one.
Oh, nobody.
Right.
These were, hey, bruh. This.
Yeah.
I digress. I mean, this is still terrible, but yeah, anyway. I mean, if we want to talk about who has more violent encounters with the police, though,
Matthew Ruth, he killed
likelihood.
3 police officers and injured 2 in Pennsylvania. September 20th, Hunter Nador shoots up a country club, killing 1 in...
This is why Nick Fuentes hates his fan base, because they're stupid. That's why he's frustrated with them. Check out my video from yesterday about how Nick Fuentes hates his fan base.
and injuring more. September 24th, Joshua John shoots up
Is this guy even white?
a Dallas...
Right.
Is it? That nigga look just like him.
Yeah. Right.
He talking about, is he white? He looks...
But get this, they don't want to delineate between black people, right? They don't want to say when a black person, they don't want to divide up the data by, you know, African, Jamaican, Trinidadian, Dominican, fucking black American. They don't want to do that. But here, oh wait, I think he might have a drop of Hispanic blood in him. He's not white. He's not white.
just like you. ICE Immigration
Looks
Center,
Mexican.
killing 1 and injuring 2. September 27th, a former Marine,
But regardless, right? We can talk about all these individually and talk about how bad they are. And whatever.
Yeah.
But this is the same thing you did at the beginning, where you're just cherry picking stuff, right? Like again, I could do the same exact thing where I just
You did a black fatigue video.
Right.
You did do this. This is what
Every single black fatigue video is cherry picked.
all black fatigue videos are. They're cherry picked topics.
Yeah.
That is our point. Literally, he's proving. I'm getting worked up, and I didn't want to. This is why I didn't even want to watch this video, because the mental gymnastics you have to have. That's literally the point of black people. Y'all cherry pick these topics, trying to paint all of us as bad. But when we flip it on to y'all, and it looks even worse, it's, oh, you're cherry picking, bro. Duh.
Yeah.
Doofus. That's the fucking point.
Right.
And I love how he say regardless. Like, it's just, oh, it's okay. Yeah, just brush over it. Yeah, we did bad things. You know what? The black people. What about black people? Nigel Edge kills 3 people in...
Also, let's acknowledge quality should carry a significant amount of weight when we contrast it with quantity. What am I saying? Okay, yeah, you can show me a video of a schizophrenic black person stabbing a white woman, but I can show you a video of white people walking into an elementary school or a middle school and slaughtering dozens of people. Walking into a Walmart, slaughtering over 20 people. And so even if we use the data you're using and interpret it the way you're interpreting it, sure, you might be able to say that there are more violent black people, but we could also say that white people are more evil when they do commit violence. That shit is fucking heinous, bro. And that's why just looking at the numbers, it really does a disservice to the reality, because guess what? The one white kid that kills 30 people, 30 innocent people in a Walmart, he gets counted as one murderer. Whereas the black guy who kills one black guy because that black guy killed his brother, he also gets put as one murderer in the statistics. And so when you look at the two side by side at just the numbers, you would say, oh, they're the same. One white murderer, one black murderer. No, sir. That one white murderer, he took out 30 people. You can't find a single example of a black person killing 30 people in America in all of American history. You can't find a single one. Not one. It doesn't happen.
There's 8 at a waterfront bar in North Carolina. In September 28th, another veteran, Thomas Sanford, rams his truck into a Michigan church, puts it on fire, kills 4 people, and injures 8. None of them were black, a Muslim, an immigrant,
Bro,
all...
this guy picked out 8 white people and then said they're all white. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
What you mean? These were the mass shootings that happened in September.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
You want him to fabricate an imaginary black person that committed a mass shooting?
And like I stated, this is what black fatigue people do for their videos. So when I do it, now I'm wrong. But when he look, It just show you how one
Trust
side.
me, if we had an incident where a black man committed mass murders or committed mass shootings of innocent people like how white people do, bro, that would be on repeat on Fox News for the next 6 months straight, bro. For the next 6 months straight, they will be talking about that shit. A white guy does it, it's in the news cycle for 48 hours, if that.
They mind is, bro.
He's like, yeah, out of the 8 white people I picked out, none of them were black. It's because you didn't pick out any black people. What are you doing? Who believes this shit? How does this have likes? This has 12,000 likes. This is insane.
We waking. What you like? I'm getting mad. Let's just watch. I'm ready for this to be over.
Yeah, out of the 8 people that I picked for an example, in the example that I picked, none of them were black. What?
I have a problem with little kids. Man convicted of one in the team multiple times after giving her alcohol and drugs. Man.
Okay, I can't watch this anymore. He's going to keep doing the cherry picking stuff that we've seen him do this entire time. Right. So we have to reference the actual data. And then I got bad news. I have the FBI statistics pulled up on my second monitor here. So
he's using the FBI statistics like those are for arrest. But let's bring up the sexual crimes based on race. Let's do that. So this is based off in 2021. 57% were white, 16% were black, 12% Native American, yada, yada, yada. 74% of offenders in cases involving production of child were white. 53% of cases involving travel for prohibited
child pornography. You can say that shit, by the way.
You know what? Contact were white and 27% were black. Per capita. Listen, per capita is just white people trying to skip over accountability. At the end of the day, raw data, white people on paper commit more crimes. The Army kept him facing more than 40 charges of sexual battery on a child, manufacturing child,
Not per capita, right? As you just acknowledged, but just in general, raw numbers.
All of these happened in September, and these are just a few examples. I could go on and on. And you know the crazy thing about all of this is that there is literally no outrage going on about these events. You see, when a white person commits a crime, they are so quick to put them in a subgroup. It's either the liberal, a Republican, transgender, or mental problems. But guess what? When a black person commits a crime, it's black fatigue. All of y'all are bad. So it's
well, I think the issue is that it's not just when one black person commits a crime, it's when there's a repeat pattern of behavior that is...
Exactly. The same way it's a repeat pattern behavior of all these white people touching on little kids. So by his logic, when I go out and...
I don't know about y'all, but I'd sooner forgive a murderer than somebody who rapes children or abuses children.
And I see a white man, I need to clutch my children and go the other way. Listen, when they say these things, it doesn't work in the same favor with them. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a public area and I see some white boys, I might need to goddamn dip out of there. They might spray it out by their logic.
But we know these white conservatives don't actually give a fuck about children, right? You got Megyn Kelly talking about how Jeffrey Epstein wasn't that bad of a guy.
I am getting a headache watching this. I'm not gonna watch the full thing. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Also, do not go on this video. Don't go on this video giving this man more views. Don't do it. Don't go to it. Please don't do it. Now, what I want to address now is this dumb theory I came across on someone's video about me. So someone did a live stream.
Another one? Damn. Tonio, you making too much noise, bro. You making too much noise, gang. You got these niggas mad.
Mr. Z, he said the pro-black white night pill and Antonio talk. And this is my video when I said red pill aren't for black men. And like I say this all the time, bro, I don't really want to talk down on black women because they get a lot of hate already. While I do understand there are problems with black women in the black community, it's problems with everyone. And this is my thing. These same red pill alpha male black people, black males that talk down on black women, they don't have the same balls when it's towards white men. My thing is, if you're going to talk down on these black women, keep that same energy for the white men, the people that we need to be actually addressing. That's my theory. So a lot of these black dudes in the red pill space, they be hating on me making these little videos like this dude right here. I didn't even watch it, but I just want to address the comment section. This comment right here said Antonio's channel blew up way too fast and got artificially boosted by the algorithm. I'm convinced that he's working with somebody and is disingenuous. He seems handpicked and spiritually broken. No point in watching a hit dog holler. Wow. So let me say this, bro.
All you have to do to debunk this dumb comment is just go and look at the views for these raccoons, right? These black people who are lying and saying the worst shit about black people in the black community. Just go and look at the Cartier brothers. Look at Brandon Tatum. Look at the Hodge twins. Look at the views that they get. Why would YouTube be pushing Antonio's video as if there is some kind of agenda to push woke pro-blackness while you still have those videos getting a ton of views. If that was the case, then their channel wouldn't get any views. The reality is these racists who aren't doing well, they're not doing well because you suck. You're a bad YouTuber. You're not good at it. We know there's a large racist population that would eat up racist content. Nobody's suppressing your racist content, bro. There are plenty of racists and anti-black people who do very well online. The reason you're not doing well is because you suck.
He seems handpicked and spiritually broken. No point in watching a hit dog holler. So let me say this, bro. Why is it that always in the black community, when someone gains some notoriety, they sold their soul, they're working with somebody, it's like all my hard work is gone out the window, bro. Somebody else did it for me. No.
Have you ever noticed that? Those conspiracy theory channels that are always talking about celebrities that sold their soul, it's almost always black people. Have you ever noticed that, by the way? Like, take a look at this channel, right? I keep getting recommended this channel. Like, fucking, his content is such garbage. It's this Christian conspiracy theorist channel, The Truth Is, right? Has almost 400,000 subscribers. Just look. Just look. Almost all black people, bro. Like, he'll occasionally do a video on a white person, but it's mostly black people. And what does that tell you? Christian culture is anti-black, right? This guy thinks he's making such great content exposing darkness, but all he does is shit on black people, bro. Most famous people are white. Why isn't this channel filled with white people? It's because this nigga racist.
Most of my videos have a very high view duration, so they get pushed out. I make good videos. It's not some rocket science. So this whole, oh, I'm an industry plant. No, bro. I'm just a nigga that started to make videos and they happen to blow up. Listen, man, they starting to come for Lil Tone, y'all. I appreciate y'all having my back, though. No more talking, though, man. If y'all want to see something similar.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Antonio. Circling the wagon, cleaning up the stragglers. Yeah, man. Nah, I love the way that things have been going, bro. I love the shift that I've been seeing. A lot of black people are waking up. A lot of black people are speaking out. And I invite you as a black person, if you want to become a YouTuber, I can't think of a better form of content for you to do. If you like this, watching this kind of shit and you want to be a YouTuber, bro, hop on the wave, bro. Hop on the wave and, you know what I'm saying, be a part of the coalition that is purging society of the lies and empowering our people. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.